beautiful memories, and amongst these memories there is always the one that comes to mind. It's called in lieu. In lieu means instead of. It means another place. It can be like a reward. If you've taught HSC all year and your class has finished, you get another class. In lieu keeps you in training. It helps you meet new students. So when you think you are free, in lieu gives you a chance not to do what you've been trying to do all year. In lieu keeps the ministry's morale high. It helps save money and ensures that all teachers are dutifully occupied. In lieu is like a hello. It greets you in the morning. It makes your day thinking, gee, I'll meet some old faces today, or how nice, how wonderful year 8 or 9 or 10. In lieu occurs during that peaceful time of the year when the years 11 and 12 are doing their exams and all the other classes are quiet. In lieu is a small piece of paper which is given to you nicely as a gift to be cherished for a few hours of the day. Everyone likes in lieu. It's a pleasure camouflaged as a duty. Well, there you are. You expect to be planning, to be relaxing at the end of the year after having done all that work, that hard work during the year. Now you get quickly thrown into the mold once again, and you have to help out. That's part of the job. Because after all, education is a very big business, and it has to have a lot of accountability. And this is part of the process. And part of the process also is the encouragement to everyone, to teachers, to parents, even to students, to offer the voluntary service. Voluntary service is part and parcel of life in schools. Let's see what happens. Voluntary service. In this bureaucracy, there is space for everyone. You can do this or that in every hour, in every season. There is always someone who doesn't do anything, whilst there is someone else who is ambitious of entering the circle of the privileged ones. And for this, they make him work at his expense, in his time. It's all so very simple. If you want to go on top of the pyramid, you have to show that doing things doesn't tire you out, that your loyalty belongs to your work and not to your family or to your recreation. Your future is assured if you don't mind voluntary service. Therefore, if you're doing things, you've got plenty of energy, you're giving more than the 100%. That's always an interesting one. I give 100%. So what happens to the rest of your life? So the percentages have to be worked out a little bit better. So remember, voluntary service, it's an important aspect of school life, and one which enriches the schools and your own life as well. But after all, that energy is expended and you're starting to feel tired. You're a bit, phased about the situation, and you have family, you have to continue working. There's really no choice. You have to be there. And when you are there, sometimes you think, gee, I have no choice. So here it is. I have no choice. In this class that's not so big, so quiet when I am alone, I have seen so many faces which now I don't even remember. They were the good together with the bad. Where are they now? Have they changed? Certainly, that's life. But what am I still doing here? There is so much living there outside past that park of very green grass? Have I perhaps still so much to do in this room? Is this my work? To remain here to supervise, to help or to admonish, to teach? But if those who want to really learn are so few, outside there instead I could direct, command, make my way in society, or fail, try to find the minimum of happiness. Here I feel like an acrobat who walks on a tightrope between two skyscrapers in the city. I dare not look on either side, but I walk straight ahead and keep my balance. So when in doubt, you just keep going. That's the name of the game. And perhaps to build up enthusiasm again. Because deep down, teachers have something in them that makes them continue to do that work. And that is not exclusive to teaching, but this next poem is dedicated to that inner feeling, the inner purpose that makes you a teacher or makes you any other professional in your own field. It's called vocation. Vocation. Everything appears noisy, exciting, but boring. Always the same with these students who don't want to do anything of what I want. Everyone wants their freedom to act, to do, to chat of other things and not of what they should be doing. I want that they speak this other language, that they read it often and willingly, that they write it almost daily, that they love it. But no, for them it is only another subject amongst the many that they have chosen, to avoid other things that interest them even less of this Italian language. But the grain of hope is always present, because the teacher knows that the seed can flower again at other times in other springs. And even when I think that I have failed, with the passing of time, this experience sometimes brings some really unexpected fruits. So is the nature of my profession, of this my vocation. So this doesn't apply only to the teaching of Italian or French or other languages or history or music. All of the subjects will encounter students who are interested and those who are not so about that particular subject. And this reminds me of a particular colleague of mine with whom I worked both across the classrooms but also in the evening school where 20 languages were taught, and he was the supervisor and I was helping out with the curriculum. His years in classes and his time to retire arrived. So it was time to say farewell, goodbye. So here is the poem. Farewell, Mr. Hamer. Alas, the man is here before his peers. Looking back, he can only see the stream of students, colleagues, parents, citizens and others on whom he left his incredible mark. Who would not remember Mr. Hamer for the flourish of language, the richness of expression, and above all, the precision and the wit with which he chisels every remark, every speech, every letter? It's not always what he says that surprises you. It's the way he comes across that astounds you. When he stands in the tradition of a Churchill or Dante, or perhaps Homer. This last one must have been a distant relative. At Prince's Hill, he has the reputation of being a man of letters. In the tradition of the philosopher, he is frank in his opinions. He fears not the wrath of men, for they are mere mortals. From the law he takes his stance. At many a dinner party he has not resisted the temptation of devouring a fair quantity of strawberries and ice cream, sprinkled with lawyers and lady friends. For the last 18 years at this school, he wore a robe of literature and history, whilst disguising his real self as the man of languages and music. He can put a tune or two together. He can speak a few languages: English, Dutch, French, German, a little Italian, Spanish, Norwegian. Let's not forget his readings in Latin and ancient Greek. Emile stands tall in his understanding of the universal men, towering above the bigotry of chauvinism. He deals with men and women without favour or favour. He is not well known for his humility, but then everyone has a fault or two.